Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Molly Schrader, and I am a technology integration specialist at a school district near Minneapolis called Edina Public Schools. And I am also a Google certified teacher and a Google Apps for Education certified trainer, which means that I really get to travel the world, just kind of sharing the good news of Google. And one of my most favorite, I need a mirroring up here. One of my most favorite things to do is to connect a network of people that are all using Google Apps for Education together, because we're all really just trying to transform student learning. And I'm really excited about doing that with you. And this session today is called Chrome Ninja Tips and Tricks. So how many of you use the Chrome browser? Excellent choice. It's now the most popular, most widely used browser out there, and it is 100% built to run Google Apps efficiently, as well as many other things. I do tell people, though, that we live in a multi-browser world, and so it's one of those things that we have to learn. So what I love about Google Chrome is the fact that we can personalize the Chrome experience for us to make it more efficient and effective. Thank you. That was a beautiful scene, though, I thought, didn't you? Perfect. So what I have here is, this is a website. This is my website that I do a lot of my professional development on. And I am a part of a team that goes around and does Google Apps for Education summits all over the world. Let me just scroll down here quick. So this is a website where I have tons of resources for people if you're ever interested, and it's all the stuff that I'm going to talk about today. So I guarantee you that I'm going to go at a very rapid pace, and I guarantee you that you're going to learn something, but there's absolutely nobody that's going to remember everything. Okay? So that's my little disclaimer, because we're going to go fast. And so one of the last summit that we just got back from, which was fantastic, was the Hong Kong summit. Anybody, the summits are coming somewhere to you. So it's gafesummit.com to see a list of all the different summits that we're doing. California's next in a couple weeks, where we're going to be doing all Google Apps for Education in the entire conference. So this is a presentation that I do at a lot of the summits. And what we're going to do is I just need to do a little vocabulary with you, and then we're going to jump in and we're going to go into a lot of different ways that you can customize your browser, the Chrome browser, to give you a very personalized, efficient and effective browsing experience. So I'm just going to quickly go through this to show just a little vocabulary. So this has nothing to do with how I feel about the internet these days, but a little smile, right? Okay, so this is a really important slide here. So this kind of gives us some of the background knowledge, or the descriptions that we should start using with students and with teachers about the browser. So I'm going to go quick. Up on the top, at the very top in the green, those are your tabs, okay? Underneath your tabs in the red bar, it is not where the URL goes anymore. It's called the Omni box, okay? The Omni box does so many more things than just hold URLs. So we use that. To the side of the Omnibox in blue, these are where your extensions live. And extensions are little programs, they're little small programs that you add to your browser to help you be more efficient and effective. So the browsers then also look a lot like the bookmarks, but bookmarks live underneath the Omnibar, or the Omnibox, on a laptop computer, so not a Chromebook. How many of you have had your hands on a Chromebook now? Right? I'm doing the Pixel, which is the touch screen up here. Super cool. So most of the time, if you're not on a Chromebook, your apps are going to live on your new tab page. So when you open a new tab page, that's where your apps are. If you're on a Chromebook, and I'll show you down here, there's a little white Rubik's Cube. And the little white Rubik's Cube you click on, and it brings you to your apps. Okay? Then down here you have your browsing history, which shows you if you're either looking at like the most visited web pages or the apps that you have. And then down here on this side here is even a, so tabs, Omnibox, extensions live there, the bookmarks, web apps. So your browsing history lives down here. Now, how many of you have more than one device? Everybody, right? Did you know that if you have Chrome on your phone and on your laptop and on your computer and on your desktop, you can always go down here. If you are signed into Chrome, if you go down here, you can look what the last tab that you had open on any of your other devices and quickly pick up working where you left off. So that's a pretty cool feature within there as well. How many of you have more than one Google account? Okay. Chrome is really great in the fact that now we can sign into Chrome. And when I sign into Chrome, that means it doesn't matter whose device I use. All of my bookmarks, all of my extensions, all of my web apps, they all get to come with me and they just sync up together. Okay? So when you are in Chrome, you do have to go to the menu bar and you have to sign in with your Google account. But then we all have multiple Google accounts. You should have a personal Google account and then your Google Apps for Education school account. There's really good ideas of having separate identities. But you used to have 2 windows open or 2 different browsers open in order to be signed into more than one Google account. But now they have multiple sign-in. And if you'll get a little icon in the corner and you can start signing into all of your different accounts or even adding a new user. So I know district administrators who have each school on a different apps account, or they, do a lot of different schools, and this list can be 13 people long. And you can just quickly jump in and out of each of your Google Chrome accounts by using this add new user. If you don't see this little icon or one icon, usually it's like a hooded white person or something, or blue, or there's Ninja one. You have to make sure that you go into that you're signed in, and if you go into settings, you can also set that up. So if you're not seeing the little icon, you can go into the menu bar and then into settings, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do mostly a live demonstration of some of my favorite apps, extensions, and things to personalize the Chrome browser. Sound good? I told you I'm gonna go fast, so here we go. So one of the first things that we learned about was tabs, which tabs happen up at the very top of the browser, right? And when you open up a new tab, you can rearrange each of these tabs up on the top. Any type A'ers out there, you don't have to raise your hands right now, you don't have to self-identify, but sometimes there's a really good order and efficiency in ordering your tabs in the order that you're working on things. There's also a good time, good things to have open all the time. So a lot of the times I have my calendar open, and then I also have my Gmail open, and I have Google Drive open. And so organizing those on the top is really a helpful piece that you can sort of organize back and forth. But right-clicking on a tab gives us even more options. Because I usually, when I walk into work in the day, I want my Drive open, I want my Gmail, I want my calendar, and I use a little to-do list. So if I right-click on any of the tabs, I can do something called pinning the tab. Pinning the tab is going to make the tab mini, it's going to slide it over the left, and it's going to make it so I can't close it by accident. So watch, I'll pin my tab, moves all the way over to the side, and it becomes little, so that I can't close out of it. So I have 4 pin tabs all day long. Gmail, Drive, Calendar. So I'll do it again with Calendar. If I just right-click on the tab, and I pin the tab, it moves over and it slides over. So we'll also do Twitter here, and we'll just double right-click and we'll pin it. Now, Type A plus is we can even organize our pinned tabs, right? So that those are in a specific order that we're working on throughout the day, which is a very good thing. So tabs, in order to unpin the tab, right, just right-click, unpin the tab, and now I have the ability to close out of that tab for the day, okay? Now, sometimes we get into a situation where we're working, right, and this is what happens to us, is we've got all of these different things that are open, and we're working really hard on this really fantastic project, and it's time to go home, and you don't know what's going to happen when you close your browser for the day. So another thing that you can do is you can bookmark all of the tabs that you have open into one little folder. So if I just right-click anywhere here, okay, I can bookmark all the tabs, and then I just name it. So I usually name it with the date. Is today the 25th, 6/25, and I just click Save. And now I have a bookmarking situation, so please excuse this situation that you see right here, okay? But what I have is then I have a bookmark, although I can't see it while I'm projecting on the screen. But when I have a bookmark here that has all the tabs in it, then I can right-click on the bookmarking folder, and I can open all of the bookmarks that are in that folder in a new tab or in a new window. So it's a good efficiency that you can sort of save where you are, what you're working on, come in the next day, right-click on the folder that was created for you, and it will pop open, it will pop up right into the browser, okay? So who knew that we could have so much fun with tabs, right? That could be sort of an efficiency piece for us. The second thing is let's talk here about what's going on with my extensions. Okay, there we go. So another thing is sometimes we need tab management, right? We have some people who have a lot of stuff open, and so what you can do is you can right-click, and you can close all the tabs to the right, and it's kind of like a little fresh, a breath, a little deep breath in your workflow. So that's really, a lot about tabs. Now you'll see below my Omni bar, I have all these little bookmarks. Okay, so I am going to show, well, the bookmarking is going to be sort of an interesting thing. Let's see if we can open up another window. Here, I'll just do a new window, and we'll see if we can get into, well, we'll do this differently. Okay, so when you're going to go and make these bookmarks below you right here, you'll go to a website that you want to bookmark. So let's say that we want to go to the New York Times. And this is something that we have open all the time, and we want to create a bookmark to the New York Times. Well, bookmarking in Google Chrome, you use this little gold star on the side, and when you click on the gold star, it's going to ask you, where do you want this bookmark to go? For purposes, because I can't see all of my bookmarks here, I'm going to put it into a folder, and we'll put it into, we're going to choose another folder, and we'll put it into our Edina folder, okay? So now, when I have this little Edina folder here, oh, that was clearly not a good one. Let me just move it up. This is what it would usually look like on the bookmarks bar, is it will have the entire name. Okay, so this is what the bookmarks bar would look like. Well, we know by the icon that that is the New York Times. And so the New York Times, the title of the bookmark is taking up way too much real estate on that bookmarks bar for me, even in my bookmarking situation. So all we have to do is we have to right-click on it. We edit the name, and we literally can delete the entire name because it's not going to delete the bookmark. It's just going to delete the name or the words that are associated with it. So now when I click Save, the bookmark is just that tiny little icon, and I can fit a lot more of those icons into my bookmark bar. Type A's that are with me, we can even organize and drag and drop our bookmarks so that they're in the kind of most efficient order for us working going forward. Good? Tabs, who knew? And bookmarking. So the next thing that's really the best part of Google Chrome is the way that we can personalize Google Chrome with apps and extensions. I love learning about new apps and extensions, and the best way to learn about them is to start talking to other people because they use them for something, and then all of a sudden you have an ability that that's how I learn about them. There's so many apps and extensions in the Chrome store. Let me show you the difference between an app and an extension with one in particular. So I'm going to go to my new tab page, and you'll see that, in here, on the Chromebook, I have this little Rubik's Cube, which brings me to the Chrome Web Store. The Chrome Web Store is where you get all these apps and extensions. You don't have to buy them. You just add them to Chrome, okay? So I go to the Chrome Web Store. If you see one today that you want to add, you'll go to the Chrome Web Store and just search for PicMonkey, and that's an app or an extension. And all you do is you just click on Add to Chrome, and you'll see that there are all, and then you could just search for apps or just search for extensions. So apps are applications that work on your computer, but they can also be more about like a bookmark that's going to take you to a certain website. So in my apps, the first one I'm going to show you is one called PicMonkey. Has anybody been on the PicMonkey website? Okay, it's photo editing. Write it down. It's super fun. So this PicMonkey app just takes me to the PicMonkey website. It's almost like a bookmark that goes there. When I'm on the PicMonkey website, I can edit or upload a photo, and I can give it a fun effect, write some words on it, use it for locker tags or desk tags or the cover of my report, or create some new cool photo for the cover of my Google presentation that I'm making. So that bookmark just takes me there. The PicMonkey extension, when we go to a website, so let's go up here in the Omnibox to National Geographic for Kids, and let's say that we're going to do a little research report on animals, and I've asked the students that I want them to do some labeling of, oh, look at that guy, whoa. Let's go to unlikely animal friends. Oh, Maker Camp, fun. The Google ad is just right there. Okay, so here's some tigers, a few dogs on the page, some polar bears, some owls. What I have is in my, let's see if we can find the PicMonkey. In my extensions, which remember extensions, and look at how many extensions I have because my Omnibox becomes mini, because these are all the extensions that live here. So the extensions are different than a bookmark. So I also have the PicMonkey extension added to Chrome. And what it does is it adds some productivity for you and the students, because I could go to PicMonkey, upload a picture, edit it, but with the PicMonkey extension, when I click on it, it adds productivity to me. It says, oh, I notice you're on a web page that has some pictures. Would you like to edit one of those in PicMonkey? And I say, oh yeah, I actually really would. I'd like this tiger one, please. And it brings that picture into PicMonkey for me. So it saved me the right click, save file, find a place for it, go to Pic. I mean, your fingers get tired thinking about it, right? So that's a good differentiation between what an app is and an extension. So let's go rapid fire through some apps that I love. So some apps that I love, the first one that I think is really, really efficient is for every Google app like Docs, Drive, Presentations, Hangout, there's an app. There's an app for that. What it does is in my apps, I can click on Google Docs, and it's going to go to my Drive and open a new Google Doc for me. So I've skipped probably just 2 or 3 clicks that I would have to do, and it brings me right in to do this. Now I have this other extension on here that I'll tell you about in just a second called Read and Write. But now it brings me right into a Google Doc. So that's some good efficiencies right within those apps. Other apps that I really love, and this is such a simple one, but it's so great because you have a timer built into your browser. It's just called the Timer app. You click on it, and I say, okay, everybody, you have 2 minutes. We'll just do a 3-second countdown. We start the countdown. It gives a little sorry, I didn't start my countdown over here on this side. But what happens, too, is what's really nice is if you hover over the little settings wheel, this little gear, you can add your own YouTube video that will play when the timer's up. Okay, so if you or the students just did a little video of yourself telling the kids what they're gonna do next, you put the timer on with your little video, or maybe you have like a transition song. You know, in kindergarten they sing the whole day. Maybe there's like a little transition song of a YouTube video that will move people on. So the Timer app has lots of really fun additions there. Other apps that I love, one of them is called, and I swear someday I'm gonna do my whole presentation in this. One called Webcam Toy, and Webcam Toy will access your webcam, and you just have to authorize it. And then obviously it's a great way to take pictures. Now what if the students are working on some really hard math problem, paper and pencil even, and then you want to see all of their work? They could take that paper and pencil, stick it up in front of their webcam, take a picture of it, and turn it into you digitally, right? But of course webcam is not just for normal pictures, right? But it's for really fun pictures like these guys, right? So and then I just do a little, and then you can just post that right to Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr, and you can save it. So Webcam Toy is definitely a fun one, and the kids absolutely love it. There are a lot of other, let's see which other ones we just love here. There's a direct start to Hangouts. Pixel-O-Matic is kind of like Instagram for pictures on your computer, which is fun to do some of those. But let's go a little bit into my extensions. So my extensions live, should we get that picture off of there, huh? Okay, so again, my extensions live to the side of my Omnibar, and they add productivity. So let's go quickly to that New York Times. I'm going to leave that up. Let's go to the New York Times again. Because I have one of my extensions, these are organized very differently than on my Mac. Because I have some of the extensions on my computer, it means that I have productivity on the web. So one of the things that I can do is I have something called Chrome Speak, and we probably aren't going to be able to hear it at this moment, but because I have Chrome Speak, I can highlight any part of the web, right-click, and have it read the selected text. So you can change the rate and the pitch and all that stuff, but because I have Chrome Speak, an extension, in my Chrome browser, then I can have the text read to me, which is very nice, okay? Now, I also have Google Dictionary extension included. And because I have Google Dictionary, I can double click on any word on the web, and it will bring up the definition, and then it will also play the word so that I can hear that word as a student. Okay? So those are some pretty great ones. But as we're reading the web, and especially we're reading, even the New York Times, they're always suggesting other things for us, right? It's kind of this, world where it's like, I don't care about what's going on Facebook or my photos and videos right here. So one of my favorite apps or extensions, is called Clearly. And Clearly is made by Evernote. And what it does is when I click on Clearly, you'll see it wipes the entire page of all the ads and advertisements and all the other stuff, and it just gives me a chance that I can read the selected text that I want to, okay? And then I just click on Clearly again. It's this little IKEA lamp guy, and it brings me right back to the web. So it's a good way for the students to be able to read on the web that way. Another one that I really like is this one is called Pocket. And Pocket allows you, so if this was an article that I really wanted to get back to a little bit later, I can just add it to my Pocket. I would have to log in. I haven't logged in this computer. And I have different lists of different things that I can add to Pocket so that I can read them a little bit later. So another 2 apps that I really want to highlight in my 1 minute that I have left and one of them is one that I just added, or an extension, So the extension that I love is one of them is called Eyedropper. Let's see if we can find Eyedropper here. So Eyedropper allows you to find, now if there's anybody who makes websites or, kind of does some design process, you can find the hex color of any image on the web. Now this is really fun when the students are maybe making their electronic portfolios and they want to match their school logo. So I can just go to my Edina schools, edina.k12.mn, can't even see what I'm typing, right? Too many extensions open. I grab the little eyedropper. What it happens is I say I want to pick a color from a web page, and then my cursor is going to turn into, at some point, it's going to turn into a little square. And whatever color I hover over it's going to give me the hex code so that I could go back to my Google site, and I could put that hex code color in, and then I could design my website based exactly on the colors of the logo or whatever you're doing. So the last one I'll show is this Read and Write. And Read and Write is an accessibility extension that you can add, and it's good for your kids that kind of need some accessibility features. It's not good for every kid because it pops up with that little authorization every single time you're going to do a new Google Doc. But what it does is it has predictive text, and then it also has, let's see if we can double click on it, and if we, I think, go into Read and Write, here are all of my different options that I can have. So there's a highlighter. I can do some recording. I can do some vocabulary, and then there's a picture dictionary. So as the students are typing, they can see the pictures of some of the words that they may or may not understand, which is really fantastic. So again, I've been given the warning of my time. I have a website full of all of these apps and extensions that I've said, and then even more. I didn't even mention WatchDoc, which is a really fun one that allows you to keep tabs on which documents have been updated within your Google Drive, which is very nice. So this website, bit.ly/Ninja Chrome, will bring you to this space that'll have a lot of these apps and extensions linked right there. So you just click on them, and then you can download them, and they can go right into Chrome. I am going to be here at the Google booth, too, until 5:30, and would be happy to show you any of the different ones. And we should probably give them a run for their money with their yelling over there. But really excited and would love to talk with you about any Google Apps for Education, Chrome, any of the summits. And thanks so much for being here.